Hey there, my name is Sammy Kamal. Today I'll be giving a speech about credit cards and why it pays to be more financially literate when it comes to credit cards. So, you've just been approved for the new credit card and it just came in the mail, freshly minted, and you just began compiling a list for Black Friday. But hold on, before you go ahead and make those purchases, there are a few things I want to talk to you about. Yeah, it actually pays to be more financially literate when it comes to credit cards because the risks far outweigh the benefits, which is kind of crazy. Usually it's supposed to be the other way around. However, uh, some credit card companies are laughing all the way to the banks because they have certain hidden fees and terms that the customer usually isn't aware of. But first, let's talk about credit cards and why we actually have credit cards. According to Garmin, credit is a term used to describe any situation in which goods, services, or money are received in exchange for a promise to pay a definite sum of money at a future date. Actually, credit cards have made the idea of carrying cash pretty much obsolete because they allow the user the flexibility of paying for anything with either their phone or their credit card. Uh, However, credit is money that's borrowed, but it must be repaid back within a certain amount of time. Over time, when we use our credit cards, we develop a credit score. It's pretty much based on the customer's spending and repaying habits. And credit card lenders usually look up a person's credit history to determine the person's credit worthiness. And usually the history is the FICO score. To determine credit worthiness, lenders take into account the person's FICO score, but they also look into the person's income and how long they've been at the certain job and the type of credit that they've requested. There's some benefits of carrying credit cards. And the first one, which I mentioned, was they eliminate the need of carrying cash around. The second one, they actually offer customers cashback deals. And these cashback deals are pretty much a flat rate of return on every purchase. There are a few benefits of using credit cards. Credit cards can be used overseas. They can be used as a replacement for carrying cash, as I mentioned before. And they also offer the customers some rewards, such as cash back. Usually, cash back is a flat rate of return on every purchase. Other offers include bonus rates depending on where you shop, such as when you pump gas or when you make a visit to a grocery store. And can be potentially better options because they can help the customer maximize their use of the credit cards. As you make your purchase, you can get back a percentage of your purchase and as a cashback bonus. Credit cards can also be used in case of a financial emergency because they allow cash advances. As you can see, owning a credit card has its own benefits. It provides the user the flexibility, and now that you understand the benefits, we'll show you how the credit card companies are actually luring the customers into a smoke and mirror show. Creditors are required to define the terms and conditions of a credit card, and usually the customer is provided a pamphlet that comes along with it, which would actually take you a whole day just to look through it if you're not really aware of the things that you're signing up for. Here are a few things you should look for when getting a credit card. The first one being an APR. APR is known as annual percentage rate, and it's pretty much how cost of credit is calculated. For example, if your APR is 21.99%, if you divide 21.99 by 12, you get 1.83, and that 1.83 is the if you multiply that by the amount that you've purchased, that's how much you will end up paying in interest. And one thing you should be aware of when you sign up for credit cards, pretty much most credit cards have an APR. If they don't have an APR, that's not a credit card. You will consider yourself lucky. However, there are a few things about APR that you should be aware of. The first is a fixed APR which is a APR that does not fluctuate based on the market conditions. However, be aware of the more scary APR, which is known as the introductory APR, which expires after a certain amount of time, and without you being aware of it, your credit card company will replace it with a high rate. The next thing is the payments. Credit cards are usually paid on a monthly basis. They allow for users to pay off the credit cards with a minimum monthly payments. With this method, while paying off the small debts, having a high interest rate can actually negate your payments because you will end up paying more than you make this purchase. This type of system is known as a non-installment credit. As you can see, credit cards have certain terms and conditions filled with jargon that a financially uh, literate person actually understands. So it's best to look out for those small things. Credit cards shouldn't be used as a debit card. If you need, in case of an emergency, go ahead and use it. But never spend more than you can pay back. In conclusion, I will pretty much summarize everything I've talked about. Credit cards are important in our economic world. Credit cards have replaced the notion of carrying cash around, but they should only be used appropriately. The benefits of a credit cards include perks such as cash back, which can use in financial hardship. However, being aware of the terms and conditions of your credit card can go a long way. Next time before you use your credit card, ask yourself this: is it worth it? Don't spend more than you have. Thank you.